Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and the third answer is a secret as to why free can be very, very expensive for you. Now, let's get into it. The question that was sent in today was, how much does self-publishing on Amazon cost? Now, this is a great question. You're considering maybe you should go with Amazon to self-publish the book that you've written. And that's a reasonable question, but we want to know, how much is it going to cost us? Is it going to be free? Is it going to cost us hundreds of dollars? What exactly is the price, so that we need to decide if this is the right choice for us? In fact, maybe even you haven't even started writing your book and you're wondering, well, wait, is this going to be way too expensive if I do write the book and then try to put it on Amazon, and maybe you can't afford to put it out there? Now, this is a very, very common question that anybody who's getting started needs to figure it out with any hobby, in fact, or work or whatever it might be. How much is something going to cost? This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't need to be so hard. Go ahead and check below in the description, and you'll see my free checklist that will help you get started on your self-publishing journey, breaking it down step by step into exactly what you need. And maybe you've been skipping some steps, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. So, the question then is, how much does self-publishing on Amazon cost? Well, let me start when I first began. I went through a number of books and courses and YouTube videos and podcasts, and I had friends and family members involved with self-publishing. And so when I first started, I was amazed to discover that you could start self-publishing for free if you really wanted to. That was an option. But what was clear to me in some of these books that I was reading was that if you go that route, your cover's not going to be very good, and your description and all these other things, the formatting of your book. And if people complain and don't like the way that the book structure set looks like, then they're going to give you 1-star reviews, and that's going to prevent you from making sales. At the same time, if everything is super fancy, then it's going to draw more readers in. So when they see the cover, they're going to be more tempted to go about reading the description and maybe purchasing the book and giving a positive review. So I could see that there began to be a little bit of a difference. When I first started, I was on a shoestring. I had no money dedicated to this. And so I was just simply using Word and trying to figure out ways to do my own covers and try to do everything myself. And I discovered that that is possible. It's just it was costing me a bit of money. And so I've, over time, moved and found a whole series of tools, which you can find below in the description, because I'm continually asked, what tools are you using? What are you using to put your books together at a very reasonable price? And that these tools are specifically designed to get us to our goal, which is getting our books out and getting them to sell. And that was a little bit of where I came from, starting from absolutely no money. I remember even you would just make a dollar or two from a sale and be thinking, how can I reinvest this money in terms of making me $4 for the $2 that I invested in the early days, where you were just so excited to get a sale of your book a day. And that was something I found very exciting. So how much does self-publishing on Amazon cost? Let's get into the answers. The first thing is, it's absolutely free. That's right. You sign up for an account. You can write your book in Word or in another format using OpenOffice or one of these other free word processing programs. You can let Amazon help you make your cover for free. They have a built-in cover creator program that you can use. Low quality covers, but it still gives you it. Your manuscript, when it's sent in, the table of contents won't work, but it at least gets it out on Kindle, and you can put it as a PDF and upload it and make your print version as well. You still would need to be able to do the cover, take your cover from your Kindle and move it over into your print version, but you can do that. Amazon will supply all of the ISBN numbers, so you don't have to worry about that, as compared to if you went with Ingram Spark or Ingram Spark, for example. You have to pay up to $150 in order to get an ISBN number, and so that can be very, very pricey. So you're going to want to think long and hard before you go about putting your books over there if you're going the free route. So this is something that's important to consider. But on Amazon, no price for the ISBN. They use their own. It'll show up as their publishing, not their publishing company, but it'll show it associated with them. However, that doesn't mean they own the rights. You still control the rights to it. And some people say, oh, but then it will show Amazon as, on my book cover when a person looks up the ISBN. The average person doesn't even know what an ISBN is, so there's really no need to consider that when it comes to, it's not going to impact your sales who owns the ISBN. But in the long run, if you're putting books of different formats out there through other publishing companies, then you're going to need to do that. So far, so good, right? Everything's free. And that brings us to our secret answer of the day, which is if you want to make real money, you will need to invest in the tools to ensure your books attract readers and give them the best experience possible. And that means that starting right from the beginning, your cover is the most important, your title is the most important, and making sure that you're publishing books in genres people even want to read. I use KDSpy, as you can find below in the description, to figure that part out. That's the cheapest tool I found to show me how many sales are being made on the books on particular keywords on Amazon currently. And then the next question you have to answer yourself is then you're going to need to have a cover. I use Fiverr, a fantastic cover designer. You'll also find below in the description the designer that I use for my covers. She does an amazing job, puts together fantastic covers at a price. I pay for a couple upgrades, but generally it's $20 per cover, so it's very, very cheap. Used to be only $6, but now we're at $10. But I need the premium photo, and she charges a little. She's raised the rates because she's just that good. And then you're going to need a book description, and then I do that myself. I figured out different tricks to get the books to sell using other best-selling covers, best-selling descriptions. Then you're going to need to format the book. I use a tool called Uto to do that, which costs, I think, $30 to $50, $40, something like that. You can also find that below in the description to do the formatting, and that will then work for your Kindle book, your EPUB book, and which you might use on Smashwords if you go wide distribution, and both your hardback and your Kindle print and your Ingram Spark. In fact, all of those are automatically done once you put it into Uto. So then you have that, you pull your cover right into that tool, and it just puts it all together and makes a very, very easy experience to get a table of contents that's clickable. Your audience isn't going to complain. I remember when I used Fiverr originally to pay somebody to actually do the formatting for me, and they sent me a format that if you put it in the nighttime mode, you couldn't read any of the text because the text was black and blue, and they permanently chose those colors, as opposed to having the correct settings, which Uto will automatically do for you. So those are some of the tools that I used when now that I've been doing it for years. I did use other tools like Pro Writing Aid. I've quit using that because I found Grammarly's free and you don't need to pay for additional money to do that. They have tools that will do your cover creation or cover your descriptions, but I found that I could pretty much do the descriptions myself, and you do it in HTML as well very easily. There's free online websites to do that. And the final thing is, once our book is finally produced, then we're going to want to put out the ads against it on Amazon, and that's where I would use then Publisher Rocket, which you can find below in the description, and it will help you find the correct keywords to make sure your book is getting in the eyes, the ads for your book are getting in front of the eyes of people who are looking for exactly your kind of book. And some of the keywords are amazing. They're words and phrases and names. I'm not even familiar who these people are, but they convert really, really well when you put them into the ads platform for Amazon. So that's, for the most part, the complete collection of the tools that I use. But how much does self-publishing on Amazon cost? Why don't you tell me, what have you found? Have you found a way to do it cheaper or a way that's maybe more expensive? I'd be very interested to hear what exactly you have found is the cost that you use, and maybe you found some tools that are better than the ones that I'm using. I'm always looking for new tools that are either cheaper or better than the existing ones, because all the more money that comes in makes me ability to invest in even more books. Now, and I would be interested, just leave your comments below and look above me here, and you will see the next video that will help answer your self-publishing questions. Thanks.